Hello everybody, Nubkeks here and welcome back to the road to Grandmaster. Today we are diving on to Brax's Holdout. Yeah, we're queued up with three guys. I think they're German dudes. Pretty nice guys. They were with us in the last OTG video. Yeah, it should be cool. So I'm just taking a look here as well. We're working out like what our dudes are going to play. So I was trying to figure out what this guy would be willing to play, seeing as we've got a multiple ranged assassin main. So you can see he doesn't actually really play anything. And looking at his thing, he's mostly plays Heroes Brawl. So that's nice. So yeah, we'll see. We got three people anyway that are ranged assassin mains, and then our fourth guy is also wanting to play ranged assassin. So we're thinking we maybe go for the 5 ranged assassin comp. Now I'm going to switch over. So in terms of bans, we already have some really unusual stuff. Ana has not gone through at all. We have Anib'arak also not gone through. We've got lots of stuff here, lots of potential. It's a little bit crazy, to be perfectly honest. It's a little bit crazy. I actually think the Maiev ban is fine, and I actually really like the Anib'arak ban on this map. I find Anib'arak can be very strong. He can be pretty scary, dude. Zeratul ban is fairly normal enough as well, I guess, and the Kel'Thuzad ban again is just kind of some fear of that hero and that pick potential. So I can understand where the bans have come from, but it's very unusual to let the Anib'arak and the Ana go through. They're actually going to ban Ana now. I think that's a mistake. We honestly should have taken Ana in the second. I mean, they should have taken Ana on their picks, and then seeing as they didn't, we should have. I assume that our healer guy, that he doesn't play Ana. I think that's the only assumption. We went for Genji and for Mephisto instead. So I think that's a big loss. I think the enemy team banning Ana is again, I feel like it's a mistake. I feel like if we didn't take Ana, that we were never going to, or that we don't have anyone that's good at Ana. Because if you did, you would obviously take that straight away. Say la vie. We got first pick Anub'arak though, so that's always real nice. Gonna ban away Mephisto. Obviously scared of that in the solo lane. The enemy team will grab Malfurion and Vala. I think these are somewhat questionable. I actually really like the Malf. If you look at our comp, like our two damage dealers are Mephisto and Genji, so they're both very dive burst heroes. And Malfurion could potentially silence, in fact, could potentially silence both of them. It could be very effective. The Vala is maybe a bit more risky. I mean, she may be safe. She's got a Medivh, she's got a Garrosh, she's got a Malfurion. That's a ton of protection. So she might be okay. But there is still always the very scary possibility that she could be simply blown up by Mephisto Genji so quickly with her low health pool. There's not too much she can do in return. We're going to have an enemy pick Thrall to go up against the Sonya. And there we go. So we ended up with... I actually think that... Yeah, he was asking if there's any wishes. Is what he's trying to say. For us to change the healer. I kind of missed that, which is unfortunate because we ended up with Lucio, which I don't think is a good pick here at all. Like, considering we had Lucio into a Mephisto, Genji, and a Anib'arak. They are all very dive... I was going to say teleporty heroes. You know, Mephisto is a literal teleport. Genji is basically a teleport with his dash. So, you know, we've got a lot of heroes that it's just going to be hard for Lucio to heal all of them. It's going to be hard for Lucio to follow that. Like, Lucio is a very... I've not been convinced by Lucio at all myself, but I've heard that he can actually be quite good as this sort of aggressive healer. But I really feel like he's going to struggle to actually be usefully aggressive in this particular game. You know, you're going up against a Garrosh into a Malf with Roots and Silence. I just don't see it working out for him, but we'll see how it goes. And let's switch back to normal speed. All right, we're back in the game. Sorry, my dudes, I totally forgot. I'm not even kidding. I think I'm just real tired today. I recorded this first. I did the entire draft on normal speed. I was like, wow, that was a long draft. And I realized that, oh yeah, I didn't increase the speed. Go me. And then, yeah, coming into this, we almost recorded the game at almost double speed. So there you go. Professional YouTuber, everyone. Hi, nice to meet you. So we're going to be going for the Unkillable Anub'arak build. This is a new build, and I think it has some decent enough potential. I think it could be pretty cool. Getting nice damage there in the Vala, and that's what I'm talking about in terms of being able to focus her down and the potential for her just being killed. So I'm always going to be looking for that, like Vala or even Medivh is going to be out of position. It's actually quite difficult for me to play against Medivh. Anub'arak's hitbox is massive, so it's very easy for him to hit me. And to get stacks. And you can see I obviously dodged one there, which is decent, but yeah, that's about all that we got out of it. And this is not a good situation. We're a little bit stuck here with the Medivh. So Genji's going in. That's a really good Medivh shield. That denied so much damage. So that's where their comp starts to work a little bit better. For sure. But yes, the Anub'arak build. This one was kind of a bit more popular with some of the changes they made recently, but we're basically going to go for a W build, and we're even going to try Locust Swarm as well, which is definitely an interesting take. I basically wanted to just see, how does this build work? And I figured it would be a decent enough game for it as well, especially considering, like I said, we've got Lucio. Unfortunately missed that Q on anything particularly useful, which is a bummer. But Lucio is, you know, he's got AoE healing, but his single target healing is very bad. And whether or not he'll be able to support me with mobility is a large question. So there's really nice damage. He actually survives, though. I could have got one extra basic attack off her. That would have been great. But yeah, I figured this build would be good. Lucio's going to struggle to actually keep me alive, so this build really ups my personal survivability. I thought it would be kind of nice. We're going to take Nerubian Armor at level 1, which will increase the spell armor we get when we use our W, our shield ability, from 40 to 60. So when you use your shield, it gives you normally 40 spell armor, which is already a lot. With this talent, it gives you 60. It's almost... It's not quite as strong as being just straight up protected against ability damage entirely, but it's pretty damn close. Like, it absorbs an absolutely ridiculous amount of damage from spells. It can be burned down a bit by basic attacks. So unfortunately, they do have Thrall, they do have Vala. The Vala especially will do a lot of basic attack damage to me, so that's, you know, it's a little bit scary. It's a decent pick on the Malf. See, the shield comes out, and it's going to absorb a fair bit, but the Vala basic attacks do sort of slowly chunk us down. This is a crazy fight. Sorry, my dudes. I've tried to focus here on commentating some of this. That was not a very good dash at all. Now, we are gonna be able to get out, and Genji will pick up the kill nonetheless. I do have move speed, of course, at level 4, which helps me do these more aggressive things. With the Shed Exoskeleton. The Shed Exoskeleton. So this will combo and give us 30% move speed. I think it's 30% when we use our W as well. So it makes us incredibly fast. It might be 20 or 30. I think for 3 seconds. Either way, it's very, very strong. Very strong indeed. So yeah, that's another like big perk to this particular build. And it all comes together at level 7 when we're going to get, what is the ability called? Let me get the name. Chitinous Plating. Chitinous Plating. Yes, indeed. That's what we're going to grab at level 7. And that really brings us all together, because whenever we take ability damage to our shield, to our Hardened Carapace, or W ability, it reduces the cooldown by 1 second up to 3 seconds. So potentially you can lower the 3-second shield duration, the 3-second shield to a 3-second cooldown. So we could potentially have our shield up like at all times, which is hilarious, because that's almost permanent 60 spell armor, which is obviously pretty good, and permanent move speed, which is also obviously pretty good. So yeah, it's a really nice little build. Makes you, number 1, very difficult to kill to teams that focus on spell damage. Trying to keep Lucio alive here is not going to work out for us. I'm a little bit scared for my own health. We're able to sidestep the Medivh thing. Actually, no, we weren't. He hit me anyway. Bummer. But yeah, we're still going relatively strong, so we should be okay. This is where we struggle. I think I said it. I remember I recorded the draft twice, so I don't quite remember. But one of the things I pointed out was that our comp, and you can see it's been a very intense game. It's been a tricky game. Our comp really does not have much wave clear at all. We've got Genji, who is basically none. We've got Mephisto, who's also extremely low. Like, compared to the other mages, compared to, you know, like Kael'thas, Jaina, even Chromie, maybe even Li Ming, to be honest with you. Like, his wave clear, it's just not very hot. So for a map that is dependent on wave clear, we really don't have a whole lot at all. So that makes things a little bit difficult for us in terms of this. So we have to kind of play around the strengths of our comp, which is, okay, be confident to dive when someone is kind of out of position and vulnerable. It's a good throw by Garrosh. Actually, that's really nice for them that they have the Garrosh throw. That's pretty huge to throw people to safety out of crowd control as well. That's very nice. You can see Vala with the basic attacks does kill the shield pretty quickly, though. That is definitely a downside for us. But there you are. We're a little bit behind. That's hitbox. Oh my god. We're a little bit behind in terms of XP. Relatively equal on the structure damage. We had the 2 guys up top. It did not go well for them. Alright, we don't hit the stun on the Medivh. We can hit stun him now, though. It's not too bad. And there we go. This Vala is very deep, but it's a good Medivh shield once again. We'll keep her alive for a little bit longer. I'm gonna get thrown in. Gotta try to keep Genji alive. Get a couple of stuns there. Put some basic attacks in, and off we go. Oh, Medivh goes in. He actually goes for it. They go for the portal. That is fantastic and gives me the double value of being able to, number one, escape with my E and also stun them with my E, and we get ourselves a kill, so that's pretty nice. One little thing here as I'm heartstoning away. Just gonna pop all my abilities. See, this is important that you only do this when you're certain, because you're just gonna spend all your mana, just drop your basic ability, spawn a few extra beetles, just for, you know, a little bit of extra map vision, a little bit of extra, just slow them down an extra second or so. It's not a big thing. But if you know that you're gonna Hearthstone for sure, it is a small thing that can be useful. Obviously, if you're not sure you're gonna Hearthstone and you just waste all your abilities to spawn beetles, you will have no mana if you do end up in a fight, and that's pretty bad, so don't do that. But there we go. Mephisto has finished his Q quest. This is a very big deal. This gives him a lot more damage and a lot more wave clear and all the rest, so that is pretty huge. You can see Medivh has finished his quest. He finished it a little while ago, I think, but that's extremely scary to say the least. Unfortunately, do not hit the E there on the Medivh. It's not quite pixel perfect, and he will get away. That could have had some decent potential, perhaps. I think it was a fine move by Delucio. I think it was just a little unlucky, to be honest. I think it was fine. I think knocking him away from the portal is a really good idea generally, and we're gonna grab Locust Swarm here at level 10 to go with this. So it is a very different build from the Anub'arak build you guys might be familiar with. No Cocoon. Even though Cocoon is so extremely powerful, we're not going to go for it at all. See, the Lucio shield comes out, but yeah, it's just hard for it to be useful to enable the Genji. We're still able to go in. Genji goes back in and does get killed. We're going to get silenced, and now I'm in a lot of trouble. And we're going to be killed, unfortunately, just by the basic attack, just before we can press our W ability, which would have saved us. And we're going to go down there as well. Yeah, that is a bit unlucky. So that was a really good combo by them. Probably somewhat accidentally. I don't know. Let's not say accidentally. That's very unfair. But basically, the ley line hit all of us except the Genji. The Garrosh taunted the Genji, and they pumped massive damage into Genji. And Lucio did the panic heroic, which didn't really get much value, and we kind of fell apart from there. So that was just, honestly, that's just a really well played team fight by the enemy team, which sort of capitalizes on some of the disadvantages with our team. But there you go. I thought it was cool. But yeah, Locust Swarm, in case you guys don't know, it is a 100-second cooldown. It's hefty. It is hefty. But it does decent, actually, damage to all enemies in the area around you, and it heals you for the health that you receive. So top lane, definitely not going so hot up there with that gank. That's definitely not what you don't want to see. The gank on them is a gank on us. Here's the Medivh as well. So I'm in a little bit of a scary situation here. Hit by the ley line. What can we do? Unkillable Anub'arak, go! Gonna be thrown away. We got the movement speed. Look at that. The Vala strafe just can't get through our shields. We're able to E over the wall. Amazing. Unkillable Anub'arak, OP confirmed. I thought that was quite funny. Very lucky, I will say. Very lucky. But yeah, we're running one way, then we're running the other way. It's all crazy. It's all happening. You know how it is. So right now, I'm actually, even though I'm on half health, I'm not that scared at all. Because I have my W ability and Locust Swarm, I'm quite confident that I can survive a reasonable amount of time, and you can see that exactly happening right here. The Locust Swarm healing us up. The W gives us so much survivability that it's really not a hassle at all. I don't know what that Q was. That was a, let's say it's a mistake. If I'd saved it here, we might have got 2 more kills using my E into my Q, so that's just a bad play. But oh well, we still win the fight nonetheless. But you can still see that, you know, understanding the enemy team position and not being so scared that our health is low, because it's very deceptive, right? That is very deceptive. When you consider that most of our survivability is the Anub'arak, comes from our W ability, and then another massive chunk comes from the Locust Swarm, that if we're on half health going into the fight, we're actually not in that much danger. And if the enemy team gets jebaited into blasting all of their spell damage burst on top of me, thinking, oh, he's on half health, burst him, all of our spells, go, go, go. And we're just sitting there with 60 spell armor. That's actually a pretty big win for us, ironically enough. So there you are. All right, we've got some control of these beacons. We're going to try take this camp. I think that's fine. The camp will give us good control of top lane. I'm going to scout towards bottom. They should have that camp just fine. Medivh is there. Now, this is important not to be on the point. You can see I'm actually going to wait over the wall. We're going to be able to burrow in on the Medivh, hit him with some basic attacks, and he loses a whole bunch of health. So I'm waiting. So right there, that's just recognizing I understand how Medivh plays, right? We know what he can do at ley line. To be honest, I didn't expect him to try to steal it because why bother? It's just a siege camp. But it was like, yeah, I was actually, ironically enough, it was useful to be in position to stop that. Anyway, the Thrall, hello. Cancel my thing early, that's a mistake. We do stun him once. I don't think it's going to be enough, though, and he's going to get out. So, yeah. Whoops, indeed. But yeah, you see, against the Medivh, we're just right. I was waiting over the wall. I expected him to portal over that wall to where I was, and then I'd be like, haha, I'm here, Medivh. You're going to be stunned. Sucks to be you. So that works out okay. This is kind of a scary enough situation. They've got a camp pushing bot, so we kind of want to force this pretty hard. Vala splits at the top as well, so we can force pretty hard. Indeed. I think it's definitely time to go for it. We need to make something happen before that camp bot lane kind of wrecks us. It's a really good CC combo by them, and I do get picked off. Lucio's going to go down as well, but... Oh, Medivh absorbs the damage. They do get another kill there, though. Okay, cool. So we walk away with a 3-for-2 ultimately. Medivh almost died as well. And our camp pushing top actually survives because Vala left. But yeah, the idea right there is going, okay, Vala is actually mispositioned. She's actually quite far out to the side. We can engage extremely fast with our dudes. Let's just go in. Let's dive it. Let's force a fight while these siege camps are pushing the lanes, because ultimately, like 10 seconds from now, when Vala kills that camp, the map position is radically going to favor the enemy team. So... And they're also ahead in XP. So, you know, YOLO, let's go. Let's try to do something cool here. Let's try to make the play right now, because this is the window, and it gets very bad after this particular window. At level 13, we did grab Acid-Drenched Mandibles, and that's another key part, I think, of this talent build generally. So this makes you do more basic attack damage to heroes that are stunned, slowed, rooted. Now, we don't have necessarily a ton of... slows or roots on our team. The Mephisto Q will apply slow. That's kind of it. Like, we are relatively low on CC. We have a, you know, which is maybe a bit of a bummer, but it'll still get good value out of it. And the idea of this is, obviously, with you being so survivable as the Anub'arak, you can see there, unfortunately, the Vala does burn through my shield very quickly. We're still going to survive for ages. Actually, a good Lucio heroic this time. Saves me. I'm going to be very risky here. Unfortunately, the shield expires right at the end, so that was mistimed. That was not so good. But I was hoping to get a pick on the Vala right before the objective starts. Almost fed like a moron. That was very close. Probably did deserve to die, to be honest. But yeah, dive in. The Lucio shield expires. I take an extra hit of damage, and then I'm basically... I think I was about, what, 30, 40 HP total? Before my W reappeared. So yeah, just miscalculating there because of the shield expiring. It's a stupid mistake, and yeah, made what was supposed to be just a risky play with high potential payoff into a very risky play, extremely risky play, which was probably going to get me killed. We'll just take the luck, though. But yes, with Acid-Drenched Mandibles, the idea is that, well, we're super survivable. We've got... that's just a really good engage by them. We're too far... We're positioned too far forwards with Sonya being away and not being with us. It's just not a good spot to be positioned that far forwards aggressively, especially with us being so low on mana. So yeah, it's not so hot for us. But Epicenter at level 16 is going to be the talent of choice. This is pretty much what you're always going to take. It increases the impact area of your E by 60%, which is already amazing by itself. And it lowers the cooldown by 1.25 seconds per enemy hero hit, which is also fantastic. So this is, you're pretty much always going to take this at 16 no matter what, I feel. It makes it so much more consistent to hit your E and all that. Oh yeah, I remember this. This is fucking Wasp, right? This fucking giant Wasp was in my room. Right? And I shoot him away. Like, it took about half an hour, the day I recorded this, to actually sit down to record because there's this big Wasp in my room. It's terrifying. Right? And then the Wasp, eventually he left. I was like, that's fine. I sat down to record these games. I think we did like 2 or 3 games. And then midway through this game, the Wasp just fucking comes back in. I've got a tiny little window open, like, just to get a bit of air in. And this Wasp, he's just, bam, he's right back in there. Absolute monster. He came back the next day as well. I couldn't believe it. I was sitting down to record, and then just, I look up, and I see him just zip in the window, the same guy. I haven't seen him since, though. I hope he died. Bastard. Sorry, Wasp story is happening as this big fight is happening. Probably the most important fight of the game as well. Yeah, I felt like the enemy team was in a bad position, so we were able to dive, and the dive is continuing. Here we're going to go on Thrall, seeing as the Garrosh is basically dead anyway. Just dive in a little bit extra after the Thrall, using our W to just mitigate that damage. We're pinging on boss. I think our health is too low to do boss. I'm going to Hearthstone out, get some health and mana. And I think cleaning that camp bot lane is a good idea as well. We could probably just push out, take the objective. I think trying to take that bruiser camp is extremely bad idea. I think that's a really bad idea. The enemy team is respawning. That's a Sonya on like half health. He's just dying to this camp. Mistakes were made. So I'm rushing over to try save him. Like, you would expect the enemy team to... There we go. Look, there's Thrall. Thrall's found him. Unfortunately, Thrall is being too scared. So I'm very scared for this Sonya. Genji is doing the boss right now, so this is really bad, especially because these guys, I think they're on voice comms. I don't know if they're on voice comms or not, but that's really bad communication to try rush the bruiser camp, and then also start the boss at the same time whilst being discovered. Not so good. Anyway, we're going to go in with our E. We're going to pop our Locust Swarm, try to survive here. Again, popping our W basically on cooldown, try to survive. Enemy team will actually get the boss with the Thrall knockback. It's, funnily enough, they have Sundering, they have a ley line, they've got a number of boss stealing abilities. We're able to get a nice stun on 2 of them. Back off a little bit, heal up. Luckily, Garrosh has gone down. Medivh goes down to the top as well. Sonya goes back in and will die. But we're coming up here. Can we turn around? Probably no. But yeah, I just think that's just a really bad call. You know, I think it would have been fine if we didn't do the bruiser camp. I really think the bruiser camp doesn't make any sense to do it alone. It's just asking for trouble. And you can see that, again, honestly, in my opinion, that's a big misplay by the enemy team. They're being too cautious moving out the map with their respawns and considering our health. Poor old Mephisto almost dies, but Genji following up does get a kill. Fantastic stuff with the X-Strike. And that's pretty huge. So that's another death for them, and that's a staggered death on top of the 2 they have. Gonna keep chasing here a little bit, why not? Missed the Q though, so we're gonna just basically turn around at this point. And yeah, that's gonna be the objective for us, which is pushing top lane, which is the injured keep. So all things considered, this is great for us. This is basically a free chunk of mana for me in the Hearthstone. We're waiting on the Sonya respawn, so you can see that, well, we're ahead of Sonya right now, and we'd want to really wait for Sonya anyway. So yeah, this is pretty fine for us. We should get there around about the same time that the big wave actually does hit onto the keep. So it's not too shabby at all. There we go, the wave is hitting, and here we are. So happy days, the keep is down very quickly. Obviously, this is a late game wave, so we're going to dive in aggressively here. Ley line to stop them, kind of anti-synergy with that though. I get slowed down though, gonna get focused in. I've got my shield, but it's not enough. Lucio's coming in and doesn't hit the shield. So we are dead. Good sundering it. Well, sort of. I don't know. I guess the Lucio tried to shield, but it was too late. Thrall tried to sunder him, but that was too late. Everything was a little bit too late, but kind of the right idea, just a bit too slow. But the enemy core obviously does go down with that Zerg wave. Still pushing in. And that's why it's so easy there for us to win. You know, the Zerg wave is so strong, we just go, we'll just dive you. And if you're fighting us, you're not fighting the Zerg wave. If you try to stop the Zerg wave, you're not fighting us. So you're going to be in trouble. And yeah, you can see it pay off, even though it's a nicer little CC combo on me there to pick me off. They had a few of those nice ones, actually. And that is that. They're the talents. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you all next time for more. Bye-bye.